Yes. So, welcome everyone. This is another EESSI Happy Hour session that is every Monday between 2 and 3 p.m. Today, we are still in the topic series of building on top of EESSI, and the current session is about contributing software packages to EESSI. I would like to remind you that the session is being recorded. And at the end of the session, we will stop the recording in case anyone would like to share anything related to EESSI. So today's session highlights, we will quickly go with a review of ways to build on top of EESSI. And we will cover the EESSI contribution policy and also do a quick review of the EESSI software layer repository, and then run a live demo how to contribute a software package to EESSI. So in previous sessions, we have already seen that there are two ways to build software on top of EESSI, or at least those two ways are supported through EESSI. So the first and the preferred way is using EESSI Build, and that is through the EESSI configs. So this is the best recommended way of building software on top of EESSI. And the second one is using the built-in modules. Those two sessions have been covered within the topic series of building on top of EESSI. So for more information, you can check the link provided or even check the previous EESSI Happy Hour sessions or even previous EESSI webinar that has been held between May and June 2025. Next is the contribution policy. So whenever you want to contribute a software package to EESSI, there is a contribution policy which provide guidelines for adding software to EESSI. Basically, there are a couple of points you need to be aware of. So the software packages in EESSI are a freely distributable software. So we strongly prefer including only open source software in EESSI. Second is you need to be careful that all software included in EESSI repository must be built using the EESSI Another thing that is very critical for building software and contributing in EESSI is that the software you are trying to build must use EESSI Build. So there should be an EESSI config available, or you first start by contributing an EESSI config for EESSI Build, and then after it gets approved, you try to make the pull request to EESSI and contribute the software to EESSI. Another point that is important before you start contributing software to EESSI is that you need to comply with the supported toolchains. For example, in EESSI version 2023-06, we support toolchains 2022B, 2023A, and 2023B. For EESSI version 2025-06, we currently support the toolchains 2024A and 2025A. There might be later on support for other toolchain, but at least for now, those are the ones supported within the two EESSI versions. So we do strongly recommend that you always apply the pull request that is related to those toolchains and you use the latest available software versions. Another thing to consider before you make a pull request to EESSI is that the software packages you are trying to make or to build on top of EESSI we will be able to build those and support all the 14 CPU architectures that are supported with EESSI. Definitely, there are small exceptions. For example, if the software doesn't support a specific architecture, then we will make it as an exception. But it is always preferable to have the EESSI software stack for those different 14 architectures as close as possible to each other. And last, there is a testing that is done when building a software with EESSI. So there is a test suite that runs to make sure that the already existing software are able to run properly. And though in case that is not possible, there is also a minimal test, a smoke test that is done through EasyBuild through the sanity check. So those points you need to consider before doing a pull request to Easy. So as seen earlier, there is the Easy software layer repository where all the Easy YAML, Easy stack files exist. So when you want to contribute a software to Easy, basically you start by cloning the Easy software layer repository. Then you need to modify either of the Easy stack files where you want to add the software or create, for example, if there is still no Easy stack file for specific tool chains, you create that Easy stack file, and within that you add your software, and then you make the pull request, and after that builders or colleagues from Easy will handle the process of building this software on top of Easy and help you as much as possible. For that, we will run a live demo and show you how those steps are covered. So this is the EESSI Happy Hour VM. And as said earlier, the first thing we should do is clone the Easy software repository. By that, if I do git clone, so first I run this command. On this VM, I have already prepared this. So if I run git clone github software.layer as seen, I can see that now I have a software layer directory. So if I go into software layer, if just to make sure that it is in sync, I do a git log, I can see that there was a commit not so far on October 31st. And just to make sure, if I do a git pull, so, okay. Now I'm getting a permission denied. I just need to make sure that my GitHub key and the agent are up. Just a second, I will add my key. Maybe those steps I'm not covering. Maybe what's happening now is good to show you that you need to first set a GitHub account and add a key. I'm not covering all those because those should be done first before you clone. So I will go back to the software layer directory which I cloned. And if now I do a git pull, it will try. And now, as you can see, it tried to pull and I'm already with the latest updates. So nothing to pull. Next, I need to do is I need to do a fork from my GitHub account to the software layer repository from Easy. All those information are specifically described within the Easy docs. For now, again, I will not cover details. After doing a fork for software layer repository and adding that within the remote, I should be able to see something like if I do git remote. So you should first see the what I called easy. It first get called origin. That is the one when you do the git clone, which is the first command. This one. So if you clone first, it gets the name of origin under the remote. And after you fork the Easy software layer repository in your GitHub and you add it here too, you can call it whatever you want. Here I called it the RBS. So what you do is, again, if I do here git branch, I can see that I only have the main branch. Now, if I want to contribute a software package, I first check if it has an easy config. If you remember in the previous sessions, easy build, easy config, I already build using the built-in environment the OSU benchmarks. So I will check here if it has an easy config, and it should have based on what I checked. So as you can see here, OSU benchmarks, yes, it's 2025A. And as said earlier, this toolchain is supported with EESSI version 2025-06. So what I will do now is, since this software package is not yet available in EESSI, I will first create a branch. So I will create a branch, I can call it whatever I want, but for now, so that I can have a clear idea what the branch is related to, I will call it also benchmarks, which is version 7.5, and I would make it follow the easy main branch. By that, if I now do a git branch, I will see that I'm already on the branch I've created, and it is following the main branch in easy software layer. If I do ls now, I can see that there is the easy stacks folder. All is required is that to go within the cd easy stacks. If I do ls, cd software layer ls, I can see that here I have the easy available versions. As said, the 2025A toolchain belongs to 2025-06 easy version. So if I go to cd 2025-06, and here I can see that there are, again, as covered in previous sessions, easy stack files. Each one has the easy version and the easy build version. We always recommend using the latest easy build version available. So if I now want to add the OSU benchmarks to the 2025A easy stack file, I do vi easy 2025 and the version 5.1.2 of easy build with 2025a.yaml. I can see that there already are too many packages added. For now, I will go till the end. And I will add the OSU micro benchmark 7.5 Gompi. Again, in the easy docs, you can see more description of how to add from a commit with the specific requirements if added. So I will save the file. Now that I have modified the file, I will commit the changes. So as you can see, I will git commit, and this naming is referred also from the commits that are preferred to have before pushing to easy, which states the easy version, then the toolchain used, and then the name of the software. Maybe here I can still add a V just to specify version 7.5. Now that the commit is done, before pushing to easy, it is always preferable to push to your fork of the easy software layer. For now, I will do git push, and as you have seen earlier, my repo is called trbs, and I will push easy software branch. For now, I have pushed the branch that I've created with the OSU benchmarks, which I want to add on top of easy, to my repository. But since it is already forked from easy software layer, so if I now go to easy software layer GitHub, And the software layer. I can see that I have a note here saying that there has been a pull request. If I click on compare and pull request, I will see the changes I have added. It is just to double check. I have added in the 2025A and it is a 2525A toolchain. And I've added it in the latest available easy build version in easy, which is 5.1.2. So everything looks okay. The naming looks fine. And one thing I can add is just to be more specific, I add the label of 2025-06. Now, if I create a pull request, you as a contributor will be able to do and repeat the steps that I have covered. From here on, Easy colleagues will handle the PR and will assist you in case there are some failures, there need to be some changes. So this is all you need to do if you want to add a software to Easy. Again, just remember that you have to comply with the contribution policy and what is set there. For you to get a closer idea of what happens after making a pull request, so first I wanted to add a software to Easy as a contributor. We saw in the live demo that I made a pull request, and then it is in the pull request is in the Easy software layer. Now, builders from Easy and other colleagues will take a look at the PR and initiate bot jobs. As mentioned earlier, all builds in Easy are handled through the bot. Maybe I can show you further. I will initiate the build. I have a list of supported. Default Easy. Twenty 25. This is GPUs. Maybe if I remove all those and all those. Okay, now it looks much better, but R10 for maybe I can remove this. I'm not sure if it is the right.
You can keep it or remove it.
I even can remove this for?
No, this you have to keep.
Yeah.
But the on you it
Yeah,
was
so
okay to
this
remove.
should be fine right now.
Yes.
If it fails, we can troubleshoot. So now I have submitted a build job. This you can do as a contributor. The bot will pick it up. But for today's session, we will not go deeper in this. I will go back and show you the rest of the process through this slide. So the bot will handle the build job. Maybe after completing the slide, we can sneak into the result. Then there are the build nodes. For now, for example, I have submitted a build job for the Zen 2, but Easy supports 14 different architectures. In x86-64, we support generic, that is the standard build, and we also support optimized builds for Zen 2, Zen 3, Zen 4. Soon we will be supporting Zen 5. Those are the AMD. For Intel, we will be supporting Skylake. We already support Skylake, Ice Lake, and Haswell and Cascade Lake. And lately, we also added support for Sapphire Rapids. And there could be a new architecture soon that we can support. That's the question mark. In R64, we also have the generic that is not optimized. And we have optimization for Neoverse N1, Neoverse V1, A64FX, and also NVIDIA Grace. We also have support for RISC-64 generic builds. So after the build is done, there is a test frame. As we mentioned, there is a test suite that runs to make sure that the software which already exists in Easy is still running. And if we are able to also test the new build software, we will do that. Then a deploy label is set. When a deploy label is set, the tarbles that are created from the builds are then signed. They are transferred to an S3 bucket. There is a cron job that runs every few minutes. It picks up the tarball from the S3 bucket and transfer it to the Stratum 0 server. Again, in previous sessions, we have covered that the Stratum 0 server is the only place where admins can add software to Easy. After that, the package is checked and it makes sure that of the signature. If all looks good, it will open an automated PR to Easy Staging repository. There again, colleagues from Easy will take a look to make sure everything is okay and approve the PR. After that, an automated deploy process will take place and the software that was built will be available in Easy. Before going to the last, it's still building. I wanted to see if it has succeeded or failed. Maybe we can have another sneak at the end of the session. So this is what I wanted to show you today. In the next session, we will be covering debugging easy software builds. So if the build that I submitted failed or something is not wrong, maybe as you have seen, I have modified the build command. Maybe even I, as an easy contributor or easy colleague, make mistakes and the job fails. So we will see how you as a contributor will be able to debug easy software builds in the upcoming session. If anyone has further questions, you are welcome. Thomas had a question. What is TRBS? TRBS stands for my name. So I always use that as a reference to rename the remote repositories I create.
I just wondering because the TR so could also be my first letters. Hmm.
We in Easy Team always use the TRBS, it seems.
So it's
Yeah.
RT and TR. So that's
Yeah.
interesting. Hmm.
So if no one has further questions while the recording is on, maybe I will stop the
Well,
recording.
maybe I have a question. What's the hard part for you? I guess after having made, I don't know, maybe not hundreds, but close to 100 contributions to the Easy Software Stack.
The hardest part for me as a contributor or as
Yeah, I mean, what you have shown sort of in the making the pull request and so
like
what's the hardest part?
I guess the easiest part is making the PR, which takes a few minutes. Maybe the first time will be a little bit harder because you, especially for someone who is not very familiar with Git and the key and cloning the repository, but afterwards it's just something that takes few minutes. And basically, you need to go through the basis of knowing what a toolchain is and to know where to put that PR in which easy stack file. And then comes the hardest part where I answer your question is to make the build successful for all the 14 architectures.
Mhm.
Sometimes even that is easy, so it doesn't require too much modifications. But other times it can be very complicated.
How about if there's no easy config yet? Is that then a lot more difficult?
Within the contribution policy, we do state clearly that it should have an easy config. So in
Mhm.
case you want to build something, in the previous session, we covered that if there is no easy config, you can try first building the software using the build env module. And then after that, you can do a contribution to the software you are trying to build on easy build. So again, if you do that and the easy config gets approved, it will be available in Easy Build, and then you can contribute the package within Easy.
Mhm.
So maybe we have said that earlier so many times, but Easy is community based. So always think of if you are building on top of Easy locally and that is pretty enough, maybe it's always good to do what you have built locally and push it through a pull request to Easy and share that software package with other users or researchers. If they are,
And
do you have more
maybe,
questions?
yes, I have more questions. uh, from your experience, how do you work? Do you just go find the software or find an easy config for the software you want to add and say, "Oh, great, there's already an easy config. I just make the pull request and I go for it, give it a shot," or do you do something before?
For me, since I'm also in a software team where I support an HPC systems, basically I get requests from users. Based on those requests, the first thing I do is I check if an easy config is available.
Mhm.
And if the easy config is available, I try to build that for specific architecture I want to use on. For example,
Mhm.
if I only have an ARM-based architecture, I try to build that easy config on my account on the HPC I'm using or for that architecture. If it works, then I try to make a pull request.
Mhm. Okay.
Yeah.
So you do some local testing first, maybe. Maybe
It, it
that's
is it is I see it as a better approach just to make sure
mm,
that it should work.
mm,
But that doesn't mean that for a contributor it should be the case.
yeah. So I think the one benefit of that is that in case maybe there is some issue, you probably can more easily go directly into it and debug and sort of inspect what was going on there.
Like from my experience, that something that could happen is that sometimes the source files have changed or sometimes they are not reachable anymore.
Mm,
So although the easy config is available, but you can't build the software because the source files are not downloadable. So that requires a minor modification to the easy config.
mm,
So trying to build will make clearly seen that no, those source files are not reachable.
mm.
But again, this is a preferable way which I use, but for contributors, they can make a pull request. We as a software, we as an easy support team will look at the failing, the root cause of the failure, and we'll try to troubleshoot and assist the contributor.
I have another question, but not to you.
I will take a break.
Mm.
I
I
will
have a,
look at
yeah,
yeah.
now it's running. Oh, and it failed.
See, it failed. Great.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
good to fail.
yeah. Um,
Mm,
that's interesting. Something changed.
yeah, but it's good to fail.
Yeah.
I will troubleshoot this in the next session. So
Yeah,
for
that's a
now, we
good.
made a pull request
You can
and
leave it
everything
there.
looked okay, but suddenly it fails. We will see why
Mhm.
it's failing in the upcoming session. Yep.
Yeah. I have a question to the easy build maintainers in the room. How do you do these test builds? So someone makes a pull request for an easy config, and then what's going on in these test builds or build attempts with that easy config? Does anyone know?
Any specific ones or the ones on
No,
the?
just. I mean, let's say I make. I've written my tool and I want to make an easy config for it. I make a pull request for that, and then of course you see these. Someone asked BurgerBot to make a test on some system. What's going on in this inside this test build?
So
Do you want me to stop the recording?
No, it's okay.
No, that's just so
It's no secret.
The BoogleBot test that run on the test cluster in Juli. Basically, just doing an easy build run with that particular easy config from the pull request, and then it reports back at the end with the test report. There's no rule, I think, how many test reports we should have. Sometimes there's just that single one. Sometimes there's like 10 test reports. It depends a bit on the maintainer. But in principle, anyone could upload a test report. So EasyBuild has some nice built-in features to do that automatically, where you can do EB -- upload test report. Then it will just start building that easy config on your machine, and at the end it will upload the test report to the pull request. So there should be at least one before we merge an easy config PR, but we would like to test easy configs also on a different range on systems, different operating systems. Ideally even different architectures. And there has been a long time plan to even move that BoogleBot towards an EasyBot, which will easily allow us to use the EasyBot or something like the EasyBot to test on different systems. Also more event-based, where the current BoogleBot is, I think, a cron job that runs once every 10 minutes or so and checks if there's a message sent to that account. So we would like to have it more event-based, where it will basically do what the EasyBot does right now, and then test on a different range of systems with RPath enabled, without RPath, maybe one ARM system, maybe one x86-64, maybe an Ubuntu-based one and a Red Hat-based one, etc.
And then where it runs these tests, then there is already so quite populated stack, software stack available, or are all the dependencies also built?
I think everything that's ever built with that bot is still available on the shared file system. I don't think that ever gets cleaned up or something. So.
The only caveat, if we are rebuilding something that is already there, unless we are sure it's going to work, we try to avoid overriding it by specifying a different install path or sometimes a different build path if it's necessary. Which sometimes leaves you with older version installed because you try the newer one with the install path and then you forget to do another test run without it.
Okay, thanks.
I think the main issue for BurgerBot really at the moment is that we only have Zen 3 for testing. I think Sebastian has the idea that, well, we could expand this, since JC Cloud, that is basically running, also has a Zen 2 partition. I don't know if much more. I think also different GPUs at least. But, well, at the moment it's only Zen 3. And when I try to do local testing, I try to test with my notebook as well, to have an Intel test and take one of our Grace nodes so that there's an ARM test at least.
And okay, so but you're testing basically on one OS at the moment?
BurgerBot is testing with Rocky 9, I think 9.5 or 9.6. When I'm testing locally, I also then have Ubuntu 24. I have Arch Linux, which is often quite funny, so you can see nice failures with that. And well, our Grace nodes also, part of them are also Rocky 9.6, and Jupyter is Red Hat Enterprise Linux, so quite similar.
Yeah. If there would be more things, easy configs or soft packages in easy, maybe one could also test on top of easy just to see how it goes there.
Yeah, I think we had a EasyBuild maintainers meeting like half a year ago or so, where we came up with a sort of draft policy for how we would want it to look like, and then we would ideally do at least something like 4 or 5 builds with the EasyBot on different platforms. So one on top of Easy, one not on top of Easy, one with RPath enabled, one without RPath enabled, one on x86, 64 Ubuntu, and one on ARM, Red Hat or something like that. So some different combinations, and then they don't all have to succeed. So for instance, if the ARM build fails, maybe that's okay to merge the PR and then look into the specific ARM issue later on. But that's all written down and not happening in practice yet. So we're still using the Googlebot. It takes some effort to switch to the EasyBot.
Yeah.
I think slides for the idea exist from the last EasyBot user meeting.
Yes, I've seen the talk by Sebastian.
There was discussed as well. Yeah, true.
Yeah. I think one idea was to basically have a minimal system because, well, the typically HPC system still has some packages, and we sometimes miss some required dependencies because of that. And testing with a system which has a lot of stuff installed, because that can often also have some failures. I mostly see that with Qt, for example, because we may not build all Qt things because, well, it's too hard to build, I would say, but the system may have something installed which gets pulled in, and yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
Thank you. So, any other questions? If not, I will stop the recording for now.